Mike Smith. He was our sound guy in this black and white movie, and he put on the glasses one night when we were finished and did this character, Bubbles. We're like, whoa, you know, your name should be Bubbles. And then we're like, you know what, you should live in a shed. So we went on scouting locations. We went scouting locations for a good shed to put this character in, to live in the shed. And we found one, and we were like, yeah, can we use your shed to shoot in? They were like going, well, our son lives in there. And we're like, what? Are you kidding me?
Hi everyone, welcome back to this episode of Arlene Is Alone. And today I'm alone with John Paul Tremblay.
Hey Arlene.
Hey.
I like the French thing. It's actually, it's a very French name, but it's really John Paul.
It's really
Tremblay.
John
Paul. It's not like a Jean as in J-E-A-N, but it's a John Paul Tremblay.
It's John Paul, not Jean.
Not Jean. But it's weird as well because not many people call me John Paul.
I know, I've heard like JP.
JP, a lot of people call me JP. My mother calls me John Paul. My wife will call me John Paul. My daughter calls me Dad.
Well, that's appropriate. But I've heard like, what about Jape?
Jape is another. How did you hear about that one?
I want to know, like, how I know
Jape.
things. Jape. Where did Jape come from?
I don't know. I think it came from back when I was younger and I was like lifting weights and stuff. I was always eating bananas, so I think Mike Clattenburg first called me Jape, and he called GWA, Jape the GWA, which was Jape the Great White Ape. Because I was always eating bananas and like protein and all that stupid stuff. But yeah, so that's.
Well, you're still pretty jacked.
I'm still working out. I feel better than I do now than I did like years ago, which is great.
Well, first of all, let's talk about how we connect.
Well,
where do we connect?
We're airport buddies.
Yes, we are.
It's unbelievable. We bump into each other in airports, and it's crazy.
One time we were on the plane together, not just at the airport. We got on a plane together, and I think we annoyed everybody around us because we talked the whole trip about work and life and everything, and everything.
Yeah.
And for those of you who, I don't know if you've been sleeping under a rock or whatever you've been, who don't know Trailer Park Boys, we're going to talk about that story. But I just want you to know that is this the second interview you've ever done, not in character? I
believe so. We did an interview with George Strompolopoulos probably 15, maybe 17, 18 years ago. And
so you've evolved since then.
I think we have, and this is kind of freaking me out a little bit because usually I'm improving every time I'm doing an interview. So I'm kind of like in that mindset, but I'm trying to be myself.
I appreciate that.
So if I swear a bit, it's not my fault.
You're okay to swear.
Okay.
People swear on this show all the time. I know you are that way because when we do take pictures together, you instantly go into your character.
Yeah, I think
right?
so, yeah.
And I think last time I said to you, like, could you smile?
I never smile.
But you did. I got you to smile.
I do
sort of. It was a little bit of a smirk. It wasn't more than
I've been like that my whole life, though. It's like I don't smile much, but I'm such a happy person. I don't know. I just don't smile much.
But I think that's your character, right?
No, I think that's really me.
That you don't smile much?
No.
How come?
I just don't like smiling. And
well,
you know what? It's not
smile.
just me. My daughter's the same way. She doesn't smile. If you see family photos with me and my kids, none of them are smiling. They're just like a little grin, but nobody's like full on smiling.
Really?
Except for my oldest son. He's got a good smile.
You've got a good smile.
I don't know. I don't know.
You do.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to smile more then.
You have a good smile.
Because of you.
Thank you. You have great skin, good smile.
Oh, thank you.
Except, what happened?
Elephant in the room. Yeah, it was a dumb mistake.
Tell me.
I was putting together a sauna, and there was one piece. Sometimes when you get these kits, you're there for hours putting these things together. And I was trying to pry this piece off of it. I was like, okay, so I had a knife that was just on my bureau, so I grabbed it, this hunting knife type thing, and I kind of was doing this, and I was just trying to crank it this way. It slipped, it came undone, and I just went, and hit myself in the face with it. And I put my hand on it, I could feel like it was cut open bad. I was like, oh my God. So I put a cloth on it, and I continued putting this thing together, and then my wife came in. She said, "What's going on?" I said, "I cut myself." She's like, "Okay," and I'm still working. She's like, "Let me see it." Actually, her sister was in town. She's like, "Let me see it," and she loves cuts and stuff. So she's like, "Let me see it," and I was like, "Okay." So I took it off. She goes, "Whoa, Johnny." Johnny. She calls me Johnny. She goes, "You got to go to the hospital."
Johnny, this isn't good.
And I looked at it. I was like, "Nah, it's not that bad. I just need some butterfly tape. Just somebody go get me some butterfly tape." So here we are. I took it off this morning.
So, fair to say you're stubborn.
I'm pretty stubborn, but I did it before. One time I sliced my hand open with a carpenter's knife, and it was bad right down there. And I looked at it. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so stupid." And I took some crazy glue and I crazy glued it together.
You did.
Oh,
You
yeah.
did not.
Oh yeah, I did.
You did not.
I did.
No,
And it works.
that's so dumb.
So my father-in-law was there as well when I cut my face. He goes, "Get the crazy glue out." He's from Newfoundland, eh? And I was like, I did it for my hand. I don't think I'm gonna put crazy glue on my face because it just feels weird. On the hand, that's one thing, but my face, I'm just gonna put the butterfly tape on it.
Sorry.
So
Your
glue.
father does not love you. I'm just going to say your father-in-law can't love you very much.
He does stupid things like that as well. He cut his hand open fishing, and then they were in the ocean or something. The guy was like, "Hey, geez, Spy, I got some crazy glue for her." They put some crazy glue on, tighten it up, and it was perfect. So he's like, "Get the crazy glue." And I was like, "It's my face."
Yeah.
I mean,
it's going to give you some character, right?
It might get me some roles in some movies.
It
maybe,
might.
Or something maybe.
Maybe comes out of this. I like.
Harrison Ford, he's got the.
Would it have killed you to go to the hospital? I mean, would it?
I hate hospitals.
Okay.
I can't stand being in hospitals. My mother was sick last year. She had her leg amputated. I spent so much time in the hospital. Then my dad died of cancer years ago. I spent so much time. My brother-in-law died about 7 years ago of cancer, and I just can't stand hospitals. I hate them. I can't stand them.
Were you close with your dad?
I was fairly close with him. I wasn't growing up, but I got pretty close to him near the end, and he was a workaholic. My dad, he's an entrepreneur. He's a workaholic, and that's how I became a workaholic. An entrepreneur was from my father, and I got to see how many hours it takes to become successful, and he just gave me that work ethic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But when you say you weren't, if you weren't close to him because he was a workaholic, and yet you're doing the exact same thing, so how do you balance that? How do you trade that off?
Well, I'm starting to realize what it takes and what he went through. Growing up in a subdivision in Kohler Harbor, there's lots of kids playing sports. My dad, their fathers were taking them to play hockey and do this and doing that, but my father was never there to do that. He was always working, 7 days a week. And I think it affected me big time. And I was like, I always had the thought, I'm not going to be like that when I get older. And I kind of am a little bit, but I'd walk in, "Hey, Dad." He'd come home from work. "Hey, Dad." He would just like, go and have a supper and sit down. So I didn't really have much of a relationship with him. So I'm not like that. I tell my kids, every time I see them, I drive them crazy. I'm like, "Hey, love you, see you later." They go to work, "All right, love you." I'm constantly throwing the love at them as much as possible.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's the lesson we learn, because I would say my story isn't exactly like yours, but I do think that we never want to be our parents. Like, we never want to be our parents, and yet we can't. There's some things that we can't help but be. It's almost like it's imprinted in us. You watch your dad work so hard, so then you think, okay, I've got to work so hard.
Yeah.
But I love that you figured out how to say to your kids, "I love you," and to like connect with them emotionally, because that's what you didn't get, right? So
Exactly.
you may still work hard, but they know that you're there for them, which is kind of what you missed.
It's really crazy, but he made up for it later in life. I moved to Prince Edward Island, and Rob Wells, he was going to St. Mary's at the time. He graduated. He wanted to do something with me. I said, "Let's go open up a restaurant somewhere." So we moved to PEI and opened up restaurants with no experience in the pizza game, and we did that with like $4,000 each.
Really?
And the whole story of finding this place is just, it's a pretty bizarre story.
Tell me.
How Rob, I've said this story so many times, but Rob will probably, if he watches this, will go, geez, not again.
But have you told people about it?
Yeah, not many, but we moved to Prince Edward Island, and we used to go over there to have fun. So we went there one night, and PEI is a pretty lively place on the weekends. So we went into this pizza restaurant to order some pizza because it was the end of the night, and the guys behind the counter started like mouthing off to us. And we're like, what is your guys' problem?
Did they not know you were Jape?
No, they didn't know. They're like, yeah, I think it's because they knew we weren't from Prince Edward, Prince Edward Island.
You were come from away.
They're like, who are these guys?
Off the island.
So they tried to pick a fight with us, and we're like, guys, we just want a piece of pizza. Like, what is your, like, so they were like, mouthed off. We left and went to the start of the place, grabbed a slice of pizza, and we're sitting down on this little stoop of this old condemned shitty building. And we're like, God, that was really bizarre. Why would those guys, what is wrong with these people? We just wanted a piece of pizza. And we're like, you know what? We should come over here and open a pizza restaurant and put those guys out of business.
So the best revenge is
Totally.
getting even.
And he's like, yeah, you know what? We should. And we had a few drinks in us. And I got up and looked inside this condemned building that we were sitting like on the step. I was like, holy shit, there's a pizza oven in this place, Rob. And we weren't, and he's like, what, no way. And I was like, yeah. So he's like, okay, you know what? Let's open up a pizza restaurant in here. None of us, we didn't make pizzas ever in our entire lives. We met the owner of the building the next morning and signed a lease with this guy.
Oh my gosh.
Went back to Nova Scotia, told her parents, we're opening up a pizza restaurant. We had to renovate the whole thing, put a new roof on it. Rob was actually living in a tent in the second floor of this place. We had to put a bathroom in it. We did everything. I had like $4,000. He had about $4,000, and we managed to open it, and it was unbelievable. And my dad sat there with a video camera and videotaped our first night, and we made so many mistakes. We were giving up more pizza than we were actually selling because they're like burning. They were sticking in the oven, and we're like, oh my God, here, the next one, we promise you come back, the next one's going to be better. But it ended up, the place got super crazy busy. We had lineups down the block every Thursday. Because
everybody knew you were giving the pizza away for
exactly,
free.
And it worked. It was great, and word got out, and we did. You know what? To this day, I think we did have the best pizza on Prince Edward Island at that time.
Really? How long did it take you to get good at it? Like, how long were you?
Probably just a couple weeks.
Oh, really?
We just knew we had to figure this out, so we figured it out, and we opened up a bar right next to us, and we named it Goodfellas Pub, which was not a great idea. It was horrible because we attracted
the
wrong crowd, and they were wanting to buy sections, rent out sections in the bar. And we're like, no.
Do deals or something?
Oh yeah, they thought I don't know what happened, but it was like Roadhouse, and it was a very, very tough year. We actually had the Charlottetown Mafia come in wanting to rent a space, and I was like, no, not happening. And they were like trying to rough me up. I was like, not happening.
Oh,
Get out of my restaurant. And the guy looked at me and said, 1 year, you're going to be done here. And I was like, okay, whatever. So 1 year from the day he threatened me, we shut down the doors to this bar.
Really?
And then after that, Rob took off. We had Pat Roach, the guy, shirtless guy on our show. He came over and invested in the bar to open it with us. He left. And then I stayed, and I opened up 2 more restaurants and a dairy bar, and I was there for another 5 years until I started getting into acting by fluke.
Just back to your dad for a second, because I'm fascinated by it, because I struggled. I was not close to my mom until she, was older, and then I finally realized that if I didn't create a relationship with her, I wasn't going to have a relationship with her. And then when she got sick, I really, it was very difficult. I was there with her when she died. It was, it still haunts me today, just being there with her through watching her take her last breath and all of the things that you go through when I think our parental relationship's are so complicated anyhow, but with her, it really hit me how fragile life is, and how it just doesn't matter whether they are our best friends. They did the best job they could, right? Like,
Yeah.
how do you feel? Like, were you there when your father passed away, or?
I was, and that was another story. We were actually filming when he was sick. He was diagnosed with cancer. He had it in his spine. He was in a lot of pain all the time. Him and my mother actually moved into my house when he was diagnosed, because he was living in Prince Edward Island running one of my stores at the time. So he moved back. They moved in with me, and they gave him a year to live. And we're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But he ended up living 5 years
Yeah.
in my house with us. But one night we were shooting, I forget what season it was, season 7 maybe, season 6. And we had this huge scene with 150 extras. It was in a bar. Sam Lasco, the caveman, this character, he's doing karaoke. And we're just getting started in the scene. We did a couple takes, but we were shooting there all night. I get a call from the hospital, you better get in here. It's like, oh my God. So I'm talking to the producers. I'm like, they're telling me to get to the hospital. And they're like, well, do you think it's serious? We got like a big night.
Yeah, we got a crew here.
Yeah, exactly. We got all these people, and I'm thinking, because I'm such a, I love work, and I don't like letting anybody down, especially when it comes to work and production. And Mike Smith came up to me. He was like, get the hell out of here, man. Go see your dad. Like, you kidding me? This is just a stupid TV show. So
right.
Screw the money that we're going to lose tonight. So I raced to the hospital, and I was there and got to see him for a little bit. And I was there with my sister and my mother, and he passed away.
Yeah. God bless Mike Smith.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's like, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
But I found that I didn't have that relationship, especially he wasn't the kind of guy who was, would say, I love you. His father died when he was 13. But I was like major ADHD, and I was hard to deal with. And I didn't even realize that until I have, my son, my oldest son, he's got really bad ADHD. Back then, they didn't know, there was no such thing as ADHD.
Yeah. You were just a problem child.
Yeah, exactly. They took me and, they were trying to figure out what's wrong with me. They're like, basically, your son's trying to drive you guys crazy. And that's what they said to them. I was like, nice. So I think it was really tough on my dad's brain.
Yeah.
They'd get babysitters, and I'd lock myself in the bathroom and hop out and take off for the night. I was a nightmare.
Yeah.
I was like Dennis the Menace. So now that I've got my son, he's got really bad ADHD, and I kind of got it. I was like, okay.
But what you just said really resonates with me, because so often the geniuses in our world, the artistic, the people that are highly creative, do have some sort of, social spectrum issues, right? Whether it's ADD, ADHD, whether they're neurodivergent, they have challenges with kind of the box of life, and they push the box of life,
exactly,
right?
Exactly.
And I love that. I think that's the people that I relate the most to. I think I'm a little bit ADHD.
Hey, I think everybody's a little ADHD, but I find it's a great tool for writing. Yeah. Because I don't think in a linear way. I think in that way. My brain's like, I'm thinking of the whole picture at all times, and I'm thinking of 2 or 3 scenes at once, and I think it's really good for writing.
How did you said that when you were doing the pizza business, and that you said, no, I want to be an actor. Or how did that happen?
That's another strange story. With the bar, a great bar, a friendly place to go have some drinks that turned into Roadhouse, we had a list of about 150 people that were never allowed back into the bar again from fighting.
150, that's a lot.
150.
It's PEI.
It's a small bar. The place would only fit 100, I think our capacity was 125 people. But we had live entertainment, and it was just a nightmare. And that's not being from there, didn't help. Anyway, so we had all these people kicked out of the bar that we'd have to kick out ourselves, mostly. If we ever wanted to go out and have fun, Rob and I, just to be friends and let's go have a beer somewhere, we'd meet up with somebody, one of these 100 or 2 of these 150 odd people that we kicked out, and they'd be like, hey, why aren't we allowed in that bar? And they'd want to start it over again. To fight or whatever.
What is that?
So we'd stay home with a video camera and we'd shoot skits.
Yeah.
That was our entertainment, because
really?
we didn't have any money.
Because you couldn't go out because you were going to get
out.
accosted by the
Exactly.
by the rejects from the bar.
that we threw out last week. So we'd start doing skits, and we did these crazy skits nonstop, and we found it so much fun. I grew up with Mike Clattenburg, who created the show. The three of us did, Rob, Mike, and I. And we'd send these skits back to Mike, who was doing a show for CBC at the time with Jonathan Torrens, I think.
I remember the street.
And he was like, you know what, some of these skits I'd never show anybody, guys. You just delete them. But there's some stuff here that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So he's like, keep doing them. So he was giving us direction on the phone. We'd keep sending him skits. And then he was like, come back over to Nova Scotia. Come back and let's dream up of maybe a short film we can do together. So we got together and we came up with this. Mike always wanted to shoot in a trailer park because it was such a great backdrop.
Yeah.
I mean, if you did the same show in an apartment complex, it wouldn't be the same thing, right? So we just went out and just started filming stuff, and it was mostly all improv. And we were getting pulled over by police. We had cameras attached to this shitty old 1977 Chrysler New Yorker. We were shooting in trailer parks, and people were like
without any permits.
No permits, no nothing. It was total guerrilla style, and it was the funnest time of my life. And I loved it. And we cut it together. It was actually it wasn't Trailer Park Boys at the time. It was called One Last Shot. And it was about Rob and I. Rob wanted to move out to BC to grow dope, and he wanted me to go with him. And I was like, no, I like it here. But anyway, it turned into, we had it all complete, and Mike was like, boys, I want to put a little bit of a twist on this.
Yeah.
What if you decide to go with Rob to Vancouver to grow dope, and you guys love each other? So we're like, what? He goes, yeah, maybe you guys should be gay at the end. You find out that you're gay at the end, and we're like, all right, okay, it'll be that's different. So we ended up doing that, and we put it in the film festival here, the East Coast Film Festival, and we got laughs, and we were like, holy shit, we're watching it. We got the laughs, and after that, I was hooked. And
what's that first moment? Sorry to interrupt you. What's that first moment when you get that first laugh? When you actually, because you're putting yourself out there.
Oh yeah.
And what's it like to have that reaction from the crowd?
It's funny because it was a bit edgy. And there wasn't much swearing in any films back then. And this is like, how many, 40 years ago, something like, or almost 40 years, 35, 40. It's a joke that it was a mama joke. I said to Rob, I said, your mom's a hoe. And he's like, what? I said, every time I go over a host, man, she can't keep her hands off me. She's a hoe. And then that bit came up. Everybody laughed. We were like, oh my God, people laughed at that. Awesome. So we were hooked. So we then started doing the black and white Trailer Park Boy movie. And I told my manager at the time, I'm leaving. It was just like that. I said, I'm gone. Yeah. And I just left everything.
And manager of what were you doing at that time?
The pizza restaurant.
At the pizza, oh, okay. Oh, you told the manager that was working for you that you were gone.
Look after everything. My mother they had control of one place. And I just told this guy, you get two places, run them. And I lived on Rob's couch for a while.
So how did the name Trailer Park Boys come to be?
It just came up. I don't know. I think one of us just blurted it out. And then Mike Smith, he was our sound guy in this black and white movie. And he put on the glasses one night when we were finished and did this character, Bubbles. We're like, whoa, your name should be Bubbles. And then we're like, you know what? You should live in a shed. So we went out scouting locations. We went scouting locations for a good shed to put this character in, to live in the shed. And we found one, and we were like, yeah, can we use your shed to shoot in? They were like going, well, our son lives in there. And we're like, what? Are you kidding me? So we went out and checked out his shed. He had the TV and the bed. He was decked out. We're like, this is awesome. I would live in there. So that's how it started. It was insane. Everything was just meant to be.
And you've got like tens of millions of fans now.
Yeah, I think it's like 13 million, something around there. But it's all over the planet now. It's because of Netflix did that. Yeah. It just reached every country but two, I believe.
What does that feel like for you?
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're getting people writing you from like Poland, You know, lots of people in Australia, South America, and there's so many places that we still could go and do live shows, which we're going to try to do someday.
Okay, so where along the way did you meet your wife?
I met her over in Newfoundland. Rob and I raced the Newfoundland Targa, which is a 2,700 kilometer rally race. And my wife was the event coordinator, so she worked and she basically set the thing up and ran it. And it was just funny. She was interviewing me, and she's like, "So how do you like Newfoundland?" And I gave her this really like corny answer, and she's like, "Come on, like, what are you talking about? Like, tell me the real deal." I was like, "All right, you know what pisses me off? I love Newfoundland. I got to get up every morning to do this race at 6 o'clock. I can't go out and have a few drinks down in George Street, and it's pissing me off." And it kind of, I just liked how she called me on me being kind of like,
Yeah, like you're doing being politically correct. You said, yeah, come on, tell the
and
truth.
she called me on it. So I don't know. I just started talking to her, and she'd be at the finish line at each leg of the race sometimes, and
The finish line.
yeah. So
Waiting for you?
So she was at a restaurant afterwards, and I just went up and said, "Do you want to go have dinner sometime?" And she said, "Sure." So I was seeing somebody at the time, and we weren't good. So I just ended that relationship. And she was fine with it, and started going back and forth from Halifax to Newfoundland.
How long ago was that?
15 years.
15 years.
2010.
And you've got 3 kids now.
3 kids. My 2 kids, older kids, are with the
Your
person I
first
was with.
relationship? Yeah.
And we have a 13-year-old together. But my 2 older kids, they don't remember a life without my wife and I,
Yeah, yeah.
because they were 4 and 5 at the
They
time.
were young, yeah,
Very young.
yeah.
So they have 2 moms, and everything's great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think it takes to be in a relationship with an entrepreneur and an actor? Like, does she ever wonder if it's real? What you're saying? Like, are you just good at acting, or is this genuine?
No, she knows the deal.
Yeah.
She had a business herself. She's a photographer, so she had her own business. She knows the grind. So I don't know. She's got it. She's like a very creative person,
Yeah.
very artistic, and she knows. She knew what she was getting into. Plus, I'm a great husband.
Well, I mean, it goes without saying. I mean,
Thank
look,
you.
you don't even have to go to, you can take care of yourself when you don't have to go to hospitals. You can just take
Exactly.
care of yourself when
Exactly.
you
I
cut yourself.
cook.
You cook?
They call me Troubleshooting John because I'll fix anything with a YouTube.
Anything.
With YouTube. Anything. I'll fix
I mean, you might hurt
anything.
yourself, but you'll fix it.
That was just a dumb mistake because I was impatient.
It's twice though.
I know.
Like, I just want to
Well, yeah,
point
you're
that
right. I
out.
was
It's not
fixing
just
something-
once.
I was fixing something else when that happened to me, but I've
You're a
learned
good
my
dad.
lesson. It's been twice. I'll never do it again.
Okay. From everything you're telling me about who you are, you've made up for your mistakes by hard work,
Yeah.
that like focus, like doing
Yeah.
the thing that you need to do to get through it all, right? Which is not easy. What about your relationship with fame? You're
I'm glad we
recognized.
live in Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
We talked about moving to Hollywood at some point, but that's not. I mean, Mike did for I think 2 years. He lived there, but it's definitely not something that Rob and I wanted to do.
Yeah. But the lure of that is really compelling, right? Because
It's money,
yeah,
and it's I don't think I'd want to get to that level of fame where people, are just they can't leave their homes anymore. Here is great. I mean, I go to the grocery store. I still have people coming up to me, and everybody's so cool. Like,
yeah,
fans of our show seem to be super cool people. They get it. They don't like to bother us, but I can just see these celebrities in Hollywood that are just they can't leave their homes. They're
Yeah.
getting followed. And when we've been away to different places, I'm just shocked. Like especially in the United States, the show's pretty big in the United States. So we walk of a venue that we were just at, and it's just like.
really.
It's just people outside, like of a tour bus. It's just insane. I'm like, get me out of here. So I don't know. I like it here. I mean, I love how I don't know. I just don't get wrapped up in it and all that stuff. I don't consider us famous by no means. We're just normal dudes.
No,
But-
you're famous, but I think that well, in Canada, fame is it's a small f,
Yeah,
right? It's
yeah.
and people are respectful, and like you know, I don't have the fame you have, but I've got enough recognition in Canada that like I just find people just so respectful.
Yeah,
you know, like
they are
they're
extremely-
just kind-hearted
Yeah.
and they're nice and
Yeah.
you know they don't bother you. You
Yeah.
know, like but I can go into like other countries and nobody has a clue who I am. You're traveling like that U.S. thing that overwhelms me just thinking about that. Like, so you say it's like it doesn't, it's not a big deal or doesn't define you, but it's got to be, it is kind of heady stuff, right? Like to be, like, does it identify? I guess what I'm asking is, does it identify you? What happened if it ended tomorrow? Would you miss it? Would you miss that recognition, or would you miss that?
I don't know. That's a good question. We embrace the whole thing, and we're so
Yeah.
happy that, you know, we've been able to do this for such a long
Yeah.
time, and to be able to work with, you know, my best friends and call the shots. It's, I mean, we've got a great career. It's awesome. So we're pretty grateful,
Yeah.
and that's the difference. And you know, as long as you don't start believing what everybody's saying about you too much,
True.
then you just, I don't know, wish we don't. We're just
Yeah.
normal people, and I love seeing people freak out because they're just fans of the show, and I'm like, you know, it's awesome. I can't believe that you guys know more about the show than we do. Like, we forget things, and people are like, remember
Yeah.
this, remember that. But one thing that over the years I really love is that it's helped out so many people with mental health issues.
Okay.
And it's unbelievable how
Why
many
is that?
first responders. Well, a lot of soldiers come up to us,
Yeah.
and they're bawling their heads off. They're like, "Yeah, we're over in Iraq, and you know, we're away out in the middle of nowhere in the desert, and these foxholes, and you know, people are fighting all day and having bombs and guns and bullets coming at us, and then at night when things quiet down, we'll start like pretending we're your guys because we know every scene that you guys have ever in every show. We'd start pretending one guy would be Bubbles, the other guy would be Julian, and we'd like, you know, do these scenes that would get us through the night. Or they've got means of watching some episodes on their phones, and they said it just brought us back to home and made us like laugh and feel good. So it's gotten a lot, you know, that way. And I mean, there's so many stories of people that, you know, they had a shotgun in their mouth, and then on TV they'd hear doom doo 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 doom doom, and then 5 minutes later they'd be like, you know what, I started laughing just watching the show, and I'd be like, what the hell am I doing?
Oh wow.
So there's been so many of those stories, and hundreds of people coming up, you know, with mental health issues, and it's kind of like the show that's helping people out, which is I find very cool.
Oh yeah. I mean,
It makes you it makes us want to keep doing more.
you changed lives. I
Yeah.
mean, literally,
Yeah.
you
Oh, big
changed
time, yeah.
the paths
Yeah.
of people's lives. That also makes me like that's overwhelming to me. Like I just think, wow. When you talk about your career and your life, you probably don't see it. You probably didn't feel it, but you smile.
Yeah, it makes me happy.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much. I love helping people. It's one thing that I want to do more of moving forward. I just love helping. If it's like with advice with nutrition or working out, you know, I'm there for anybody. I'll talk to anybody, you know, about it for as long as they want. And I do have a lot of people doing that these days because they're like, geez, you look like you're aging backwards. What are you doing? I'm like, okay, this is one. You want to know what I'm doing?
Still?
Not much.
No.
Not
So
much.
you're living a clean life.
Yeah, totally clean. Totally clean.
It's probably also an age thing that as you get older, you start to realize that giving back is so important. And,
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
absolutely.
I feel that. I feel like this urgent need to do more to help the world and to help people and to be there for others.
Yeah.
Like it's just a really urgent thing. I feel. And I don't know if it's just because I'm older or you know maybe wiser or.
Yeah, I
don't
think
know.
so. I think it is. We're getting older and wiser.
Yeah.
And I found, especially, you know, in my 50s, as soon as I turn 50, I don't do things that I don't want to do anymore.
Yeah.
And that's one thing. And I try to keep the stress out of my life. That's what my daily goal is. I don't want to be stressed out because I used to be stressed out all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
and
feel
stress will
that.
kill you. And I watched it kill my dad.
Yeah.
that's what happened to him.
Yeah.
Stress.
Yeah, I feel that
Yeah.
a lot. You're right, stress will kill you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He's 57, by the way. Like, he looks like he's 27. He's got the body of a Adonis. But other than that, I'm not noticing it sitting over here.
Crazy.
Just maybe one last question, I guess. How have you managed to keep those relationships alive? Because that's hard in business. It's hard to work with your best friends and to keep, like that alive and that creativity going and not be mad at each other sometimes. Or are you mad at each other sometimes? Never.
Never. Rob and I grew up in the same neighborhood. He was a couple years younger than me. So back when I was 15, he was 13, which is a big difference in age. I was the guy on a motocross bike. He was a guy on a moped, and I kind of thought he was nerdy. But we started, so I didn't hang out with him much until later on in university. And we just became good friends. We were like brothers. Him and I are like very close.
Yeah.
I was there. He had a brother that was killed in an accident when we were running the pizza restaurant. And I was there when he got the call, and I was just like, oh my God. So we've been through a lot, him and I as friends, so we truly are like brothers. Mike and I, we're close as well. We're all like, we just have this this relationship where we just try to make each other laugh as much as possible. When I'm with those guys, we're trying to make each other laugh.
So for the audience, like this show is about it's not just about relationships, but it's about trying to empowering yourself and figuring out who you are and being good with, kind of that, right? I think I'm trying to help people wherever they are, to understand that we all go through these journeys. And when they see people, and particularly the people that I have had on the show, which are mostly, have been fairly high profile people on the show, I think people sometimes don't see the real person behind the,
Absolutely.
And in your case in particular, because you've got a very big character that you play.
Yeah.
What would you say to people about, about who you are versus what they think of who you are?
Well, that's a tough one because Trailer Park Boys, it's just, if you strip away the guns and the dope and the language, it's about love and family. And that's all I'm about right now is love and family. And I care about people, and I see a lot of horrible, crazy shit in this world, and some people just need to figure it out, and if I can help them figure it out, then, wow, makes my day.
Yeah, I love that. It's about loving people.
Yeah.
So, thank you. Like, I honestly, you made, I had to hold back from crying.
Oh.
Trailer Park Boy making me cry.
You're great. I like talking to you.
Yeah, we could talk for a while.
Yeah.
This has been like a fascinating conversation. I honestly, I love you even more. I've always loved you, but I love you even more now. I think, I always end our shows by saying, no matter where you are in your journey, that I hope something in this show has helped you. And in this episode, I hope in particular, you've learned something about, that no matter how big somebody is, how famous they are, how the character they play, at the end of the day, they're just a person who cares about love and family. And I hope you do too. Thanks for joining us, everybody. And JP, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Cheers.